Hi guys, and welcome to Trucking Along with Kiersey. That's me, your positive voice in trucking. I just took a defensive driving course at Prime that they encourage us to take once a year. So it's on a sim, so it's not exactly like driving a truck, but it's more or less to get you used to reading signs and judge your ability of what you're doing. Are you checking your mirrors? It has a forward-facing it has a driver-facing camera on it, so it checks to see if you're looking into your mirrors and you're, looking all around you. Are you looking down at your instruments to make sure that your air's okay? That kind of thing. So we're going to talk about defensive driving when we come back. One big complaint that I hear from people a lot is that they work for a company with governed trucks. Prime. We're slow like turtles. And, people will put in the comments to me all the time, oh, I'd never work for a company with a governed truck, and, I could never work for a company that goes 62, and I go 65, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, whatever. But what I'm hearing when they speak is, I'm an aggressive driver and I need to go faster. Because most of the time, if you're a defensive driver, you're creating a cushion around you. So most of the time, I'm in that right lane. I make sure there's nobody on my left, there's nobody in front of me, there's nobody behind me, as much as I possibly can, to give myself that cushion. When people come flying up on my left-hand side, I don't try racing them to pass them. I slow down and let them go in front of me. Be aware of everything that's going on around you. Constantly look in your mirrors. When people are merging onto the highway, and this is something that I saw on another YouTube channel where the person was merging and they were in the merge lane and the driver couldn't get to the left. So this frustrated driver, instead of slowing down and letting the person go in front of them, now can't accelerate. This car doesn't know what to do. They're not speeding up. They're not slowing down anyway. So, boom. Guess what happened? The car ran out of room and hit the trailer. And the truck driver, they call the cops, and the truck driver didn't get a ticket because, the person in the merging lane should have been the one to slow down. When you're in that right lane, technically you have the right of way. However, in this particular situation with a truck driver at the helm, that was considered a preventable accident. And the trucker says, but it wasn't my fault. No, the accident wasn't caused by you, but you also didn't prevent it. They could have slowed down. They could have allowed that person to go. They could have tried to make eye contact, and said, go ahead, to tell that person to speed up. Even if there was nobody on the left-hand side and they didn't merge over, that's also considered a preventable, and we are held to a higher standard. Construction zones. I see people fly through construction zones. If you saw one of my earlier videos, I was doing 50 and a 55 when I was on training. And it was one lane on a slant like this, shifting with concrete barriers on each side. I was terrified. I was new. And the guy on the CB, hey, Prime, you can do 55 here. Really? I can do 45 here too. Keep talking, you're stuck behind me. Let's see how that works out for you. Seriously, that's what I said on the freaking CB. Because, like, you know, you have to go what's safe for you, and you can't let the people around you dictate how you drive that truck. And that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing when you speed up to try to get around somebody. And you're putting yourself and others in jeopardy if you're trying to fly past somebody that's weaving like this. Okay, so you get into that left lane to go past them, and what happens when they go cross the line and hit you? You might turn around and say, well, it's their fault, so I don't feel bad. Okay. What if it was a little tiny Toyota and the parent was an idiot and that child just got trapped in the landing gear of your trailer? Are you going to care? Because I'm going to tell you something. If I ever had an accident where somebody was severely hurt, injured, killed, I'd feel so guilty. I don't think that I'd wind up coming back out on the road. And you have to realize that it's almost an occupational hazard, or at least it's an occupational acceptance that we have, that we are responsible. This is not smash 'em up, crash 'em up, Dodge Derby out here, guys. Remember back in the 80s, I'm showing my age, but back in the 80s we used to have Dodge 'em. Wasn't it Dodge 'em? Yeah. On Atari, and the little cars would go zzz and eat the, yeah. They'd eat the little dots, sort of like Pac-Man. You'd have to like change lanes and not crash into each other. Well, it's not. And we are responsible. We are supposed to be the better driver. We're the one getting paid to drive. We are trained and held to a higher standard because people expect better from us. Be aware when you're going down side streets or small streets. Make sure that when there are cars parked on the side of the road, you know, on like up against a curb, that you're looking to see, is there anybody in there? Is there somebody that's going to come kick a door open? They're going to open up a door and you're just going to pull their door off and take their legs off too? It's serious. And I see a lot of younger male drivers who come through here and they're just like, I'm going to drive, and I'm going to go 100 miles per hour, and I'm going to drive, and I'm going to make so much money, blah, blah, blah. And it's really interesting to me that when I ask them, you know, at what speed are they doing this, at what speed are they doing that, and they come up with something that is just so ridiculous. It's interesting that when I ask them if they ever thought about vehicular homicide, have they ever thought that their mistake could not only kill somebody, but put them in jail for the rest of their lives? Most never thought about it. I want people to think, you know, if you don't care about your own safety, then please care about the safety of others around you. You know, on TruckingTruth.com one time, there was somebody that posted a message that said, don't you guys ever get tired? Don't you ever get tired of people passing you and cutting you off and, you know, and not being able to pass them? And, you know, no, I don't, because that's called defensive driving. That's my job. That's what I get paid for. You know, we get paid to deliver products, but we get paid to do it safely. We get paid to make sure that that rig we're driving is safe. both on the equipment. You can't even get your CDL without doing knowing your whole pre-trip inspection. Why? And that's the first thing you do on your CDL exam. You don't do backing and drive test first. You do the PTI inspection, the post-trip, pre-trip inspection first. You have to know all the parts on that vehicle, what leaks, what rots, what, will fray, what will crack and break. You have to know about the brake system. Why do you think that is? Why is that first? Because safety is the most important issue out here. And if you're going 75 miles per hour all the time and you're speeding past people and you're not even, I see so many people who are in that right lane and there'll be a car on the shoulder or a truck on the shoulder with their hazards on, and drivers don't even move left. They don't even move left for cops. It shocks me. This freaks me out, because if you see one cop, there's very well going to be other cops around. And it's quite possible that that cop is helping somebody that's sick, so now there's an ambulance, a car could burst into flames, who the heck knows, you don't know. If you see one vehicle with lights on and horns and sounds, expect more. Slow it down. Put your hazards on. Get as far on the other side of the road as you possibly can so that they have all the room they need. NASCAR, guys, it's great. It's a lot of fun to watch. But what happens in those races? Cars crash, they flip over, they get on fire, people get hurt, they get hospitalized. Let them take the risks. All of those guys in those cars and those races, they accept the risk of being on those tracks. They know what can happen. The cars with families around you are not expecting you to be impatient. They're expecting you to act like the professional driver that you are. Stop with the and all the nasty aggression type of driving. Come on, guys. Be professional. And laugh at them. Blow kisses at them. You think I don't get beeped at all the time? And they give me hand gestures and everything. And you know what I do? I blow kisses at them. That ticks them off. Of course, I'd love to see one of you guys with the big long beards and the scary looking, I want to see Twisted Big D. I want to see him blow a kiss to another driver. But anyway, I'm sorry. Back to anyway. So, you tell me what is one thing off the top of your head that some idiot driver did to you recently that really ticked you off. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the little notification bell, and I hope to see you guys out here trucking along, but only if you're safe and you go slow enough that I can wave to you, because you'll probably be faster than me. Bye!